Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you are new here, I would love you to join our community by clicking on the subscription button below. By subscribing, you are not going to miss out on any of the latest updates that we share here on this channel. Today, we'll be specifically discussing on the component that makes up the solar system. What are the components that makes up the solar system? They include the inverter, the deep cycle battery, the solar panel, the charge controller. Then you can add your protective devices and other accessories when necessary. Today we are going to take a look at the functions of solar panel and how solar panel works effectively. Then we know that for us to generate electricity through sun, we need this solar panel. When the sun shines on the solar panel, it creates what is called the energy. The energy from the sunlight is absorbed by the PV cell of the panel, making an electricity to be established. Then this energy that is created also introduces an electrical charge which moves in response to the internal electrical field that is existing in the cells, causing an electricity to flow. Then how does this solar panel work effectively? For it to work effectively, there must be an existence of sunlight. Then this sunlight is what activates the panel. What are the things that make the solar energy to work effectively? You have to consider the sunlight which activates the panel. Then you consider the solar cells which produces the electricity from the panel, the converted energy which is being used to power your house. When this energy is converted, you can now use the converted energy to power any system or appliances which you want it to control. In the same manner, follow me as I bring you the steps on how you can install your solar panel and get effective energy and use it efficiently. Thank you for watching this video. Click on the subscription button as we keep on sharing the value together. After considering the appearance of your panel, that is the physical appearance and the price at which you want to buy your solar panel, there are other things you have to know. You have to know the wattage, which I've already discussed. Now, how do you determine the wattage of your panel without using measuring instrument? You know, from the Ohm's law, we said that power is equals to IV. Then I is the parameter, which is the current, and V is the voltage, the PV, which is the voltage of the panel. So when you know these two things, you have to determine your power, which is measured in watts. Therefore, for you to determine this, you have to multiply the current rating of the panel with the voltage rating of the panel. For instance, you have 24 volts panel and it is rated 9.3 amps. So it means for you to get the actual wattage, you have to set 9.3 times 24 volts, which will give you 223.3 watts. So now you can know that the actual wattage of this particular panel is 223.2 as the wattage of the panel, and this is how you determine the maximum power rating of your panel anywhere you see it. Follow me as I keep on sharing the value with you. In the consideration of the solar panel, after looking at the physical appearance, the costing, that is the price of the solar panel that you want to work with, there are other things you need to know very well when you want to install your solar panel. These are the things you need to know. First, you've known that you need to consider the wattage. Now, how do you generate the wattage, or how do you know the solar panel rating, or knowing the power rating of the solar panel without you using measuring instruments? How do you determine the solar panel wattage without using measuring instruments like your multimeter or your wattmeter? So first, you have to know the current rating, you have to know the voltage rating of the panel. So using the Ohm's law that said that power is equals to IV, that is knowing that the voltage of the panel and the current rating of the panel, then by the time you know these two components, you can now multiply the two parameters to bring out the power of the solar panel, which is measured in watts. Then, assuming that the wattage of your panel is not known or is not written on the nameplate, so what you have to know is to make sure you know the wattage, and since you don't know the wattage, you must know the current and you must know equally the voltage of the panel. Now, looking at it, let's take this for instance. You have a voltage of 12 volts for the panel, then you have the current rating to be 9. So when you want to determine the wattage, what you have to do is to multiply 9 by 12, or perhaps you have 24 volts as the voltage rating for the panel, and you have 9.3 as the current rating for the panel. So for you to get the actual wattage of this panel, what you have to do is 9.3 multiplied by 24. For us to consider the solar panel installation, which include the angles, the positioning, and the way to generate a very massive wattage, you need to know the types of solar panel you are going to use, because we have basically the two types of solar panel. We have the monocrystalline and the polycrystalline. The mono does not depend much on the sunlight for it to function properly, just like the poly, which depends that the sun must be at the peak for it to function properly. Therefore, when you are considering all these things, you make sure that you choose your panel according to what you want on your own. Then when you are considering your panels or your panel choice, there are things you need to put into consideration. First, you have to look at the wattage. When you consider the watt, we are talking about the power rating of the panel. You consider the wattage, now you consider the efficiency of the panel, you consider the power rating, you consider the voltage rating, you consider the current rating of the panel. In the same way as you are considering it, you consider the durability test, then and the warranties at which this panel can serve you effectively. These are the things you need to consider as an installer whenever you are making your choice of panel. What are the things that make the solar panel to work? You are going to consider those things that makes the solar panel to generate electricity. First, you consider the sunlight. The sunlight is what activates the solar panel. Then you consider the solar cells, which is what accepts the energy generated then and produces the electricity. Then you consider the energy that is being generated. This energy is what you convert. Whenever it is converted, it will be ready to be used, and when this energy is converted, you can now turn it into use. Then after considering the converted energy, you also consider how this converted energy can be used to power your house, can be used to power your appliances, can be used to power anything that you want it to control. So these are the things you have to put into consideration when you are putting in your solar panel. The system and the method by which you can mount your solar panel, the way you can install it, the right angle to be used, and how you can make it to attract sunlight and be effective and produce its electricity in effective way. What are the components that makes up the solar system? They include the inverter, the deep cycle battery, the solar panel, and the charge controller, and other accessories that you can introduce as the time goes on. Today we'll be discussing specifically on how solar panel works. How does solar panel work? Solar panel works effectively when there is a sunlight. This is where the efficiency of the panel is determined. So whenever there is sunlight and the sun shines on the solar panel, it introduces what is called the energy. And this energy that is introduced by the sunlight is absorbed by the PVC of the panel. And this PVC is the power voltage that is indicated by the solar cells attached to the panel. These are the things that create the energy. When this energy is created, the energy on its own creates and the components that are necessary in setting up your solar system. What are the components that we need to set up the solar system? They include the inverter, the charge controller, the solar panel, then we have the deep cycle batteries. Today we'll be specifically discussing on the functions of the solar panel and how solar panel generates its energy. Whenever there is sunshine on the solar panel, an energy is generated. When this energy that is generated by the sunshine is being absorbed by the PV cells on the panel, this causes an electricity to flow. This energy that is generated creates what we call an electrical charge, which moves in response to the internal electrical field that is in the panel, making the electricity to flow. In doing this, an energy flows, and when the energy flows, it causes what we call an electrical existence, which is the electricity. We either use directly with our solar generator, or we use it for the storage. Thank you for watching this video. Click on the subscription button as I bring you more. See you next time.